right? I think it's about like 70-30 for the most part.
It's definitely been easier coming into this, but yeah, this is a big one right now. Right now, Europe, after what was a worse performance for them over at LA, is currently looking at only 4 guaranteed spots in the latter stages of Worlds. Both of these teams are sat at 5th and 6th. They're both 400, 500, no, more close to 500 points behind where Endpoint currently are, who have that 4th spot. So if Europe can have a really good showing in London and get that 5th spot back from themselves, then whoever wins this is in prime position to try and get that. So there's a little ifs, buts, and maybes when it comes to that 5th position, but if you want to try and get a hold of it, it starts with winning this game.
100%. And SMPR, the team that had the better full split, you know, they came top 4 at the full major, bagging themselves loads of points, doing well in the online stage as well. And then the opposite was true for Evil Geniuses. They did well in the winter split, but not quite as strong as SMPR did. And I think really now, SMPR was a massive question mark, is would they be able to recover after losing Archie? And it seems like Exotic has fit that role perfectly. And we mentioned the change from English comms to French comms. That's going to be a change up for them. I assume they had to change up a little bit of the coaching staff in the background. I think they've now got a French coach. So a lot has changed for these guys, which we've seen to be quite an effective thing to do going into this split. Changes always bring a new level of motivation for a team.
And also the thing to note on this one as well is that Vitality are the team behind both of these squads. Another 400-point difference there, but you go out here and Vitality beat Guild, and suddenly you start dropping points at a time where Vitality looks like they might be in prime position to go over to London and shut that points deficit down by even more. Just so much riding on the line, and you've got to step up in this game, in the lower bracket. As Catalysm delays it. Gonna drop down Exotic. Not a booming clear, though. Instead, he set it up for Cassio, and what a pass that was. Just fainted out going for the boom, and instead found a teammate.
Yeah, well, we put SMPR down as a team of synergy before. They always used to pass so well. And unfortunately, the meta has shifted towards more mechanical plays, which is what Exotic has brought into this team. He's the one who's opening up that space for the mechanics, but that team synergy still remains as we see Cassio in those beautiful positions so frequently, ready to redirect or boom that ball on target.
Yeah, for Exotic, this is a move that was perfect for him because he's a player that's always been so highly mechanical, not really had much of a chance to show it. But what a task it is to come in and replace Archie and put SMPR's hopes for their season on your shoulders. Because Archie was always that player for this team, and they are looking for him to be a little bit of an easy slot in to continue on with that style. Shostet, low boost. He's looking for some support. It does finally come in. But right now, a lot of danger. That 1-goal lead, very tenuous for now. Rizex, the pass to Catalysm. It's far side and a little bit far wide.
You speak about slotting into teams, and who better to slot in with than Shostet and Cassio, 2 veterans of the scene. You know, we're losing a lot of the old guard of Rocket League, but both these players did appear in the Worlds just before the pandemic. So Season 8, Cassio was there, so was Shostet. And, you know, they've been and done the whole performing at the high level, performing under pressure, winning events, doing the rounds, and it's now a chance for them to pass that expertise onto Exotic, who's got that new wave mechanical energy that we're seeing so many of these top teams like Moist come through with. So hopefully that's the winning formula this team needs, because right now they're definitely the surprise of the spring split so far, and will they carry that on with this regional as they've started strong in this game? 1-0, looking to put some pressure on Evil Geniuses, who've looked a little bit tame so far in this game.
Yeah, as for Evil Geniuses, my eyes are always just on Catalysm. He's just going to pop off at any moment, but so far kept very quiet. That was a little bit wasteful, actually. Had a chance to try and isolate a low boost Cassio. Instead, just settling for possession down the other side of the field, a possession that will not last.
Oh, this is the
Exotic's here. Right
Look
now,
at him go.
We saw a lot of this from Tox earlier on. Just having that player that can get rid of the pressure that easily is so invaluable these days.
The way he took that down the sideline, not only did he take up a lot of time, allow his teammates to recover, but he starts putting fear in the defense, starts making them question, when can I dive in? What can I do in this situation? And it was a guaranteed opportunity for Shostet if he connected. It was a tough shot to make, but still, to be put in a position where you've got a risk-free goal-scoring opportunity is something that you just cannot look past in the current level of Rocket League. It's so hard to score against the way these players defend. So making those opportunities exotic. But in this situation, left alone to defend, Ivan sends it into the top corner, but it bounces out and away. And Evil Genius's first chance at net in the final 20 seconds does not go in. And that might be the only opportunity they get this game, as we see SMPR 1-0 up.
We do go to the final few moments. Just got to lay it to the floor, and SMPR Esports have taken game number 1, but I've got eyes elsewhere. I know Orb does as well. Orb, there's a couple of results you need to brief us on.
That is right. There are some... the thing is, it is make it or break it. As we've been saying through lower round 1 and now heading into lower round 2. It is make it or break it. Who's going to make it until tomorrow? We got Guild taking 2-0 against Vitality in their game 1, so they are up 1-0 in the series.
And winning game 2. Oh, that's bad.
Oh my. That's not looking good for Vitality. What else has been happening, Orb?
No, absolutely not. Listen, things are happening, okay? Things are happening. Solar reverses Endpoint 2-0. They are up 1 over Endpoint. Yeah, Luminosity.
I'll look at the camera later, okay? I've got monitors. I need to keep an eye on it for now.
Luminosity 5-2 against Dig. So it's Dig fighting through lowers. Is this a worrying sign, Greg? Would you say for Dig?
Yeah, I mean, we've just seen the announcement of them bringing in Nick, the ex-coach manager of Queso. Been taken on with the Dig team, and it does take a bit of time for a new member of staff in the back room to settle in with the team. You know, things change up a lot. The team needs to start finding where they want to go with it. But Dig have been on that decline. They started and exceeded everyone's expectation at the early stages of the full split. And it's just been going downhill as time has gone on. They really do need to change the direction they're going sooner rather than later, because Landon is a big moment for them.
Yeah, it's certainly, I mean, we were talking about at the time when Dig started to pop off, we were thinking, hey, they're a couple of tournaments ahead of schedule. But it has been regression since then. Certainly up against maybe the expectations off the backboard. Rizex, that's a shot that's not going to really trouble anyone.
This is dangerous. Cassio.
Oh, he didn't go for a reset either. I do like the mix-up, and Ivan's doing incredibly well up against everything. He just gets rid of the pressure.
You said about Catalysm being the one to watch. Definitely, Ivan has been a player. When he's playing well, it seems to open up the space for Catalysm. We mentioned how important it is to have those players not necessarily doing the scoring themselves, but creating space. And right now, Catalysm hasn't had a huge amount of space to be able to utilize his mechanics. And he's also, speaking of mechanics, using a very different car to what we're used to seeing him. And he's using the NASCAR stock car, which is a very different look. And you sometimes wonder, is that a confidence thing? Is he doing that because he's not feeling so good about his mechanics at the moment?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of different cars this last week. It's hard for me to tell at this point. Chaussette leaves it.
Beautiful.
What a that is. Defensively, how do you even make the decision of who you're going to defend against?
That Cassio clear, just put it in the danger zone where both Chaussette and Exotic could shoot it. And this is that modern Rocket League call out. Leave it for me. They'll expect you to hit it, position accordingly, and then it gives that second player the free shot on a static defender. Exotic coming in, banging that one top corner. And when you're Cassio and Chaussette, you are going to trust that call from Exotic. You are going to put everything on him to score that goal, and he did not disappoint.
Chaussette off the ball. He's going to look to try and jump in. That's quite the dive in, though. He's going to be very late getting back, and his team might very well need him earlier than that. Although this shooting, it's not on. I don't even think that was really in a position where you're going to test the goalkeeper, even if you do get power. It's just been EG taking maybe shots, and a couple too many of them against a SMPR defense that has proven itself very capable. Chaussette off the wall. That's very close. Close definitely helping out this time around, but Evil Genius is stuck in this side of the field, and do they have the same ability that Exotic has for getting that ball instantly out? Now the answer is no. Cassio back over to Ivan. Exotic waiting on the midfield. Here is Evil Geniuses off the backboard. Who's there first? They've got to score that.
Oh, Exotic.
Exotic kept it out again. Chaussette does enough to keep it out on the second time of asking. Evil Geniuses cannot buy a goal for themselves.
It's those clutch moments we ask of these top-tier talents, and Exotic is certainly showing he's one of them. Coming in there, making the miracle save. Not only is he showing his effectiveness in offense, but he's coming in clutch in the defense, which he needs. So he's setting up his teammates too. He's doing everything for this team. And that's going to be a goal. Shozet coming in, point blank range, snipes it to the far left. And you just see the synergy on this SMPR team is unmatched.
Okay, there's a couple of things happening right now, Gregan, that I'm going to leave for Orb to talk about. But for those of you at home, expect maybe a reaction from me not related to the game that you're currently seeing. Shosset is off the ceiling, and hey, well, you would have got a reaction if that one turned in. But RLCS has gone full European mode around in the lower bracket. It might get even crazier down there as Exotic off the wall. It's just so annoying if you're EG. Forced to try and set up yet again. Less than 2 minutes left here. 2 goals the better. Still no goals for EG.
Beautiful.
4 goals overall for SMPR. They're walking their way for a high-pressure situation.
Oh, reminiscent of past Shozet there. On the ground, dribbling the ball, creating that space and opportunity. And Exotic just booming that one top corner. There was no threat at all on the ball. Didn't have to avoid anyone. Just had to put it hard and fast on target from close range. And it is that selfless nature of which SMPR are playing. They seem to be setting each other up so wonderfully, creating space for each other, trusting each other, which is so key. And they are now 3 goals up for it. As we see Exotic just feeling himself upfield so often, willing to redirect that ball on target. And this is the SMPR we wanted to see today against Evil Geniuses, and why we as the desk fully backed them. And Evil Geniuses really do have a lot that they need to step up to go into this next game and even have a chance of winning, let alone this one.
And this is maybe the one really good bit about the fact that they lost Archie, is that the rotation was already focused on him. So when they brought Exotic in, a player that they could again allow to play very mechanically, it didn't really change much in terms of how Cassio and Shosset were going to play. They were going to keep an eye on where Exotic was. They were going to try and position around that. And if anything, they look more comfortable in this one because Exotic, I want to say, maybe just doesn't cut rotation. As, oh my God, Shosset. This is the defensive Shosset that we have bigged up for so many years.
Look at him go. And you said that about comfortability. And I think the full French roster is something we speak about with BDS and how much more comfortable they looked. And I'm sure it must be the case for Cassio and Shosset here. In fact, for Cassio, I think he's very frequently teamed up with non-French players. So he's used to speaking in English, whereas now with the full French comms and having heard French comms, they are fast. You know, a lot of their comms are 1 syllables, like j'ai and all that kind of stuff, rather than in the English, you got to say, I got it. And you can just see how fast they react to the communication as a team. And it's allowing them to play as a team and be effective as a team and win as a team.
Okay, Orb, there's a game that's just ended. I want you to come in here and start talking because, okay, it's another game that just ended. Orb, which one do you want to talk about? The Guild game or the Luminosity game?
I mean, really, take your pick. We had a 3-minute, 31-second overtime that Guild just sniped from Dig.
From Vitality.
No, sorry, from Vitality. I don't know. They are fighting. Guild is truly, truly fighting through this. We had Luminosity. We had Luminosity, just real quick. We had Luminosity beating Dig, which is now correct, 5-0, and they were just hammering them. I don't know what truly happened. And by the way, Shogun, I love that you're staying like up to date with the games as you're casting. You are a multi-talented man. I gotta say.
I'm hyperactive, if anything, and also Gregan managed to convince me to have a 5:30 p.m. coffee, so this is easy right now. Okay, it would actually be harder to focus on only one game for me at this moment in time. But I don't know what I'm looking at. Gibbs, he's got that Gibbs smile right now. It's just like, yeah, this is happening.
Europe is Europing.
But doesn't Gibbs always look a little happy? Doesn't Gibbs always look a little happy though?
Gibbs is just a very happy human being. It's lovely to be around. Maybe the rest of Dignitas though won't be quite as nice to be around if this result stays as it is. That is the result though for Luminosity. Looking at the more positive side of all of this, we've said that they need that result against a team that's seated higher than them to maybe get easier brackets in the future. Maybe it's a bit late in the season, but finally they're on the top half to get it, Gregan.
Yeah, and we said Dignitas was the team that's looking a bit out of form, so definitely one that they'd like to take on to get that confidence.
You're up 1-0 in game 3.
Oh my goodness, what are we witnessing here?
You're up 1-0 in game 3.
I mean, at this point, you guys all know who are watching from home. If you want to watch any of these games, the teams are streaming their points of view, so definitely go and check out. If you've got multiple monitors, have them all open. Create your own little workstation now and see as much of the Rocket League that's going on right now, because Europe is fascinating right now as we see what could possibly be considered a coin flip bracket. Any team could win. I think even Direct, our stats man,
coin.
Yeah, he did a coin flip bracket before we started today, and looking at it, I went, that looks about right. That looks like Europe. And right now we are seeing all of those kind of results come through. The unexpected is frequently expected in Europe. And we are here in a game which is much more controlled. SMPR looking good.
Kraken.
What's happening?
Luminosity 2-0.
Oh my goodness, Dignitas are not feeling it today, that's for sure.
They've scored 2. Dignitas scored 2 in the first game. They've done nothing since then. Catalysm off the backboard. He's got the set. Nothing is getting past this defense. Oh, I say that. I didn't finish the whole sentence, so I'm not wrong. RizX does get the goal. And that's at least something for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, we see a lovely finish there from RizX, finding the far side. Exotic coming inside the goal mouth to try and predict the save, but not able to. And there's only so many miracle saves you can make as a team before Evil Geniuses finally score. And I think that's the story here. Evil Geniuses haven't looked too bad, but they've just not quite had that breakdown to guarantee the goal. They've been relying on outplaying a predicting defender. And right there, they finally predicted correctly on their shot. As we see Ivan coming in, fantastic shot. Evil Geniuses have lit up.
I think this is maybe the most important goal as well, because this is the bread and butter of Evil Geniuses. Get Catalysm on the ball, get him to find some way to style past the defender, and then get Ivan to come in and shoot. Ivan, one of the best shooters that we do have across the RLCS. Just hasn't been in a position to do so in this series. Now shot set. Just sets up, brings in a teammate. Again, Catalysm starting to find his own form, but RizX needs to go earlier than that. Almost got his team caught back in defense, but the rest of the team able to get rid of it. And this is some huge results happening across the RLCS. Evil Geniuses. I mean, whoever wins this is the biggest beneficiary. If Guild can take down Vitality, then whoever wins this is in a brilliant spot with just a position to grow that lead. That's the big thing here, Greg. We've talked about all the pressure. Whoever wins this is in a position just to create a gap rather than trying to chase down.
Yeah, and then there's also the results of teams like Solary as well. If they make it to London, then that's a team that's working in favor of the likes of SMPR and the likes of Evil Geniuses should they win, because that's a team that's not taking a spot from them. Whereas Vitality, like you said, hot on their heels, are a team that wants to steal a spot. Same with Carmine Corp as well. And so all of these teams fighting for that 5th through 8th location are going to be looking closely at today's bracket, wondering how it's going to affect them going forward. Misfit's already out of that question. And now we see Evil Geniuses finally deciding to get involved in the conversation, as I think the switch from Catalysm from that NASCAR stock car over to the Octane has helped him play a lot better, because he did not look comfortable before.
Ah, the classic placebo, although this one actually, had some sort of actual difference. Just decided to put on the weighted clothing before starting himself out for game 3 onwards. RizX off the wall into the midfield, but for the first time we are seeing SMPR trying to chase down a game, and it's getting worse for them right now because Catalysm very dogged with the way he's trying to attack the ball all the time. RizX with an opportunity off the crossbar, and you can see Catalysm, he's not going to dive into this. There's no need. They need to full send just yet, as Catalysm narrowly avoids being bumped. And we did keep the ball in the opposite side of the field, and it's getting more and more rapid right now. But from the fighter side of SMPR, they need this. Castillo with the ball. Pass is to, well, Chaussette, but probably not where Chaussette wanted it.
All those bumps there. Oh, Chaussette spawning.
2, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
Got back.
Oh, this is a chance. What a save from RizX, though. Just pre-jump, saves his dodge, dives at it last moment. And this is another question as well. We said about teams needing to be clutch in these important series, in these important regionals when they need to get those wins. And SMPR have always been a team that I'd question. What are they capable of when they're ahead? Chaussette historically, back in the day, was a frequent reverse swept player. And we've seen SMPR in the winter split frequently missing out on the upper bracket just through losing their final group stage game. So SMPR, a question mark when it comes to clutch for them. And this game right here is the start of that potential debate as whether they can clutch out against Evil Geniuses. Evil Geniuses taking game 3, but realistically, we want to hear about what's going on elsewhere, because this game is just one of 4 that's going on right now, all of which matter a huge amount. And Orb, what's been going on elsewhere?
Well, Vitality just won 2-1 after Gil was pushing them really, really hard. We had, just like Mr. Shogun brought up, Luminosity started very strong with 2-0. Now Dignitas finally fighting back. It's like everybody's waiting until the final moment. It's like, yeah, we got to start scoring now. And Dignitas, oh, that's a 0-second goal. Luminosity wins.
Wait,
that is...
I haven't seen it yet. That's spoilers. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That is... Oof. I don't... What happened? Luminosity...
Oh, that's huge.
Luminosity turned it up.
So anyone who's going to London hoping to cheer on Dignitas because you're a massive apparently Jack or Scrub Killer fan, you might be meeting them in the crowd, because they are not in a good position to make the major right here. They are out of this regional and they need to have a miracle run in the 3rd regional to be able to even have a chance of making it to London. That is huge.
Who was it that turned around and said, imagine if we got to watch NRG versus Dig in London again? Who cursed that from ever happening? This is...
I mean,
wow.
Speechless over here.
That is, I mean, what a run, what a Luminosity run they've had here. 2 sweeps.
Finally, they've got it. Like, this is what we thought they were capable of. Ooh. Okay, that's a good start for SMPR.
2-second goal.
Luminosity, it's just... We wanted to see this for the longest time. It's one of those team names that we keep thinking, oh, that's really strong, but you don't really believe they're going to do much because they tend not to. So it's finally nice to see that the Luminosity we were expecting to see a while back has shown up to this tournament, and we'll see them tomorrow.
Oh, is that another goal there? It is Exotic just opening up the net, making it a little bit wider for Shazette. And Shazette did sky it there, and that's another kickoff goal. 2 goals in the first 8 seconds. And that is not the way you want to start when you're on match point, as Evil Geniuses will be concerned about their ability to come back from a 2-goal deficit. But there's plenty of time. SMPR, strong start here. This will certainly help them with their journey that we've mentioned before. Is so important for them to win this game.
Absolutely so. And 15 seconds in, quite the dominant position to find themselves in.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh, it's just right. The goalkeepers, but Casio will finish it. SMPR are reacting incredibly well to any sort of pressure that they might have been under after that previous loss.
I was just so patient there. You see Exotic on the right side just went, I know someone's in the middle here. I've been told that. I can see all 3 of my opposition. If I put this on Chozette's nose, they're going to have to dive at it. And it led 2 players to try and make the save, which then allowed the cleanup from Casio. And that's exactly why you cannot defend your way out of a victory. You need to be aggressive. You need to be closing down those passes, those outplays. Otherwise, teams will eventually break you down. But there is so much time left in this. 3 goals hard to come back from, but there's 4 minutes on the clock still. But Evil Geniuses still have hope.
So what's going on? I almost completely forgot Endpoint and Soda are playing. Finally, to get enough monitors available to get that stream up as well. It's currently 1-1 with a 3-goal lead, and a 3-goal lead over here has just turned to a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, Ivan taking Exotic out of the game there. Great 50-50 pinch with him. Rizek's up early. Casio unable to predict where he's placing it. Close range shot placed on target. Rizek takes them in to 1-3. That is 2 goals they need to come back in 4 minutes. As we mentioned, there's so much time here.
A minute. Sorry, 2 seconds here.
Go on.
I've got the endpoint stuff. I'm assuming you're seeing what we're seeing? This endpoint, I've got Eclipse playing.
That is right. That is right. So we had Wave had power issues. So Endpoints is having to use their coach/sub Eclipse for Game 3 versus Solar.
Okay, well, I hate to break it to any Endpoint fans out there, but Eclipse is not a very good Rocket League player. He's a very good coach, don't get me wrong. but he's definitely not the same level as a lot of subs we've seen come in the past. That is very much a we do not want to be here, but we are now.
What is it? As Endpoint had the most technical problems. Yeah,
he just scored.
He actually scored.
Fair enough. Speaking of scoring, Shazette making it 4-1 over here, making it very tough again for Evil Geniuses. 3-goal deficit is always difficult to come back from. The frequent forfeit position you'd see in ranked.
Oh, Gil just scored.
Shogun, there's a game going on.
There's a lot. Yes, there's a lot happening, but this is 4-1. That one's 1-0. Guess what's more important? There's a lot happening here, everybody. And I am loving it.
And everyone at home who's watching right now, wondering what we're talking about. There are so many games going on. It's only 3 now, isn't there? Luminosity have swept Dig. So
that's really helped. I only had one. That's why it helped me get the Solar stream up, because I did not have enough monitors for that.
But this really is the swing regional. The team that does well here, it puts himself in a very good position going into the 3rd regional. So every team in the lower bracket right now wanting to make as long a journey as possible. And Endpoint having to bring in Coach Eclipse at this moment is going to be tough for them. But he does play a lot with the players. I know this. I've seen Relating Wave. I mean, he's the one who's not there, but he does play with the players on a regular occasion. And to have a player like Archie, who so frequently can hard carry anybody, that's quite a good player to be having alongside your coach. But what we're seeing here is Evil Geniuses just too much to ask from them. If SMPR just hold it out now, I think we'll see a similar result for the rest of this, where there's not going to be much of a chance now for Evil Geniuses, but they will try their absolute best. What else is going on, Shogun? You're watching everything.
It's 10 seconds left in Guild versus Vitality. The 1-goal lead is all that's left in that one. So if Guild hold on to this, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, just needs to hit the floor at this point. Guild
beat Vitality.
The entire length of the field. They are in their own defensive half. So wall dribble. Redosin, it's off the backboard. I'm going full radio mode for this one. Infield opportunity actually for Vitality, but doesn't look like it's there. Vitality are out.
Vitality are out. Guild have knocked Vitality out of the tournament. Guild causing upset. As we see Vitality, the team that did so well in the 1st regional, are now out. And that opens it up for these 2 teams right here that we're watching. Evil Geniuses and SMPR love to hear that, because that puts them in a great position for World's points. And
you've got me back on this series now. A great job solo casting, Gregan. I'm back. Never get to the 5. I got to worry about that one. It's Eclipse.
Yeah, so we've got Endpoint Solary also going on, which we think is probably going to go in Solary's favor after that unfortunate disconnect from Wave. But yeah, right here, the scoreline has not changed. It stayed 4-1. Evil Geniuses just not able to break them down.
This has been helpful just to slow things down a little bit. The fact that within 3 minutes, we managed to have Vitality out of the tournament and also have Eclipse joining one of our top 4 teams for their run through this tournament. Made that quite hectic for everybody as we head into the final potential 20 seconds for this one. As hectic it has been for us, it has been anything but for SMPR. They had a little bit of a rough go of it in the previous game, but for the most part, Gregan, they have been by quite some distance the better team of the 2, and they are the ones that are going to come out on top of the battle between 5th and 6th in Europe, and they make it through to Saturday.
Yeah, if you'd said that SMPR were going to be the most improved team of this split, I would not have believed you. I did not think losing Archie was ever going to do them any favors, but they look renewed. They look incredible. They look more French. Now they've got Exotic on the team, and being more French is definitely a positive thing when it comes to European Rocket League, as we are seeing SMPR move on.
There's a big news, by the way, in Endpoint's game.
Listen, I mean, you've kind of done my job for me. All right, I can kind of.
Sorry.
No, this is fine. I'm actually kind of lounging, checking out the games. Endpoint beating. No, sorry, Stollery.
Stollery got